What's up guys, Valence Ring here, and I'm bringing you another video on these May updates, and this one I'm going to be covering the nano weapon scraps. So I know this is going to be a popular topic, and I wanted to do a video specifically on it to keep it separate from the other updates. However, of course this was rolled out all as one update, so let's dive right in. Alright, so as you may or may not know about nano weapons, you do have to have a Gear Factory level 20 to even worry about this, but once you're past that, you have your normal craft, you have your exclusive craft, your material production, which gives you the parts that you need to craft weapons and exclusive craft through normal or exclusive craft. You have your weapons depot, which is all the weapons that you currently have. Yours is going to look different than mine. Hopefully you have more red than me, which is the apex. And then you also have the cabinet, which shows you all the possible ones, not counting common, and it tells you a little bit more about them so you know what you're shooting for. That being said, what are the scraps? You may or may not see them. You have diamonds for speed ups, Instacraft for speed ups, and then of course you have your material box and for nano weapon designs for the exclusive craft. So where are the scraps? Well, right up here there's a little treasure chest. Go ahead and click that, and this is going to be your scrap shop. So scraps are what you're going to get now for dismantling or upgrading equipment with nano weapons specifically. So you can get, finally, it looks like they released an epic weapon design box. Now I don't know if this was out anytime prior to this, but it's the first time I'm seeing it. But you'll see that it costs 5,000 scraps. So I want to mention really quickly, you can see I have 3 tiny little scraps, and it says obtainable via dismantling nano weapons, can be exchanged for items in the nano weapon shop. So 5,000 scraps takes quite a bit of dismantling to get. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend saving for this box because it's not necessarily going to be easy to get there. But that being said, you can get weapon promoter 2s now from outside of the mall, and that to me is one of the biggest bonuses to this shop and maybe one of the best buys in the shop, simply because weapon promoters are fairly easy to obtain, instant crafts are fairly easy to obtain, but weapon promoter 2s are not. And you'll see that they cost the same as an instant craft, which is great. So outside of that, yes, you can definitely save up for these weapon design boxes, and when you open these, it's going to give you a specific nano weapon design that you're going to be able to craft, but which design that is random. That also being said, opening one of these, the epic design box is going to give you one of these epic designs, which should mean that it's going to design a weapon of epic rarity or better, and that is absolutely huge for the record. So the rare weapon design box will always design rare or better, while the regular one can design anything from common all the way up to apex. So you can still technically craft an apex weapon off of a regular weapon design box, but the odds are much lower, whereas epic weapon design box, you have a 50-50 shot, and it's probably not equal stats, but basically it's either going to be epic or apex. So that's the best box, and you definitely want to save for these eventually, but if you have some epics and some apex, I would recommend getting those to red star with the weapon promoters 2 before worrying about getting up to here these epic weapon design boxes. But that's a personal preference. You do what you think is best for you. You can hit the little exclamation point for some more information, and basically it says that dismantling or devouring nano weapons grants scrap. So this means if you upgrade one nano weapon with another, that's considered devouring, or if you just simply dismantle one, and I'll show you that in a moment. So scrap for various weapon qualities. So it is important to note that you are going to get more scraps the better the weapon, all the way up to 500 if you're lucky enough to dismantle an apex weapon. I don't know when you would do that. The only time that you would need to do that is if you have, 22, how many ever are available of the heroes that are possible to equip a nano weapon on, If you have 23 or whatever Apex weapons and you decide you want to get rid of one, great. If not, even if it's an exclusive, let's say you have an exclusive Apex katana and you craft another Apex katana and you're like, I don't need this. Well, the reality is that an Apex exclusive acts like an Apex radar on a non-exclusive hero. So, unless you're full of Apex, I would not recommend dismantling them. But you can if you so choose and get 500 points back. Otherwise, your common weapons are only going to drop 1, your uncommon are going to drop 3, etc., so forth and so on. You can read that for yourself. At any rate, so this is pretty cool. I definitely like it, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about it. So if I go into my weapons depot, you'll notice all my weapons. Anything with a little, person icon there next to it means that it is equipped on someone. If a weapon is equipped, you cannot dismantle it or use it for upgrading another one. Obviously, this is a protection so that you don't accidentally use a nano weapon or dismantle one that you are actually using and want to use. So you're going to have to go down and look for one that doesn't have that on it, and like this one doesn't, you'll see my uncommon terrestrial radar, which you should have plenty of these by now. You'll notice down here it says I can dismantle it. So what that means is I'm going to destroy it, but I'm going to get everything back for it. And you say, well, it's still +1, it hasn't been leveled up, it's 4-star uncommon. That's exactly what you get for it. So, dismantling it, what are you going to get? Well, the good news is that even dismantling a weapon that you have not upgraded still grants the exact same value as consuming it, which is 50 enhanced material, which are worth 10 each. So this uncommon is worth 500, and that's if I eat it or dismantle it, it's the same. And then scrap is 3 because it's uncommon. If this was common, it would only be worth 1 scrap. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dismantle this, and now I have 6 scrap total. So that's great. So now I can go in, I could buy a weapon promoter, I could buy 6 of those, I could buy a weapon promoter 2 or an instant craft. So obviously I want to stack these up and save them up until I actually need them, and I think that a lot of people are probably going to use maybe occasionally for the instant craft, definitely for the weapon promoter 2, or you're going to be saving up for some of these bigger boxes. The rare weapon design box I think is probably technically a better value, because you're going to get rare or better out of that exclusive craft, and it's 5 times less the cost of the epic weapon design box. But if you have a lot of rares or better already, then it might make sense to just save for the epic because you're guaranteed epic or better. So that being said, again, personal preference, but I definitely want to save my scraps up. So here's another little trick I want to give you for this. If you are waiting for Nano, the Nano weapon event day, we all know it takes quite a bit of points. I think it's like 1,000,000 points or more to complete all phases and rank in that event, which is not easy. Normally it costs some real money to finish that event unless you get really, really lucky and maybe craft a couple Apex or, some Epics in an Apex where the points are really large for crafting those weapons. So, that being said, normally you're going to be crafting commons and uncommons, maybe a rare occasionally, so it's really hard to do. Well, the good news is that you do get points for getting enhanced material. So, it is my recommendation not to devour these weapons, but to dismantle them. You're still going to get the parts, the scraps, and you're still going to get the enhanced material. And then you can put it wherever you want. So instead of devouring these, instead of using them to enhance, I would dismantle them. So normally, like I said, if you go in here and go into, let's say, my Epic Incinerator, and I want to enhance this, I can drop this in here, and as you see, I get 500 points for doing so, but I get no points for getting enhanced material. So it would be more efficient and more beneficial on Nano Weapon Day. Go ahead, save those up, the ones that you're going to just eat anyways. Come into your Nano Weapon Factory, go into your weapons depot, find the one you want, and dismantle it. This is still going to give you scraps, the same amount as if you devour it, and it's going to give you the same amount of enhanced points as if you devour it, but you're going to get it in enhanced material, which is going to give you points, at least I believe so. It's going to give you points for the nano weapon event. So if anybody knows anything contradictory to that, let me know, but I would definitely save those up for that purpose. Alright, so that's everything, guys. I know that's a little bit of a lot of information, but I hope it helps. Definitely check out the shop, save up those scraps, and see maybe what's going to be best for you in the short and long term on how to use those. So pretty cool new feature. I hope it works out for everybody. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if it helps. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.